Let there be light. It's tough to know where to start. I'm kind of like the mosquito in a nudist colony. I can see there's a lot of ground to be covered. It's tough to know where to start. Let me start with the beginning of my experience in chiropractic, because that's what started it all. I went to the Palmer School of Chiropractic, not college, Palmer School of Chiropractic, back in 1954. I studied under B.J. Palmer himself, the son of the founder of chiropractic, so we have a line of continuity here. D.D. Palmer started the chiropractic profession. His son B.J. Palmer took it up and taught me, and then I've taught hundreds of chiropractors, but there was something about chiropractic that didn't quite sit right with me. The philosophy of chiropractic was beautiful, and it led me to a certain way of thought, but the chiropractors weren't doing the logical thing, or they weren't saying the logical thing. They were only talking about the health effects of chiropractic. And I realized the effects of chiropractic go far beyond health, far beyond preventing sickness. And I began to explore the other things and try and convert other chiropractors along the way. I've done thousands of lectures to chiropractors. I've spoken in virtually every chiropractic college in the world. And still very few of the chiropractors saw things my way. And that's when I started a new profession of spinology. I think the thing that prevented chiropractors from seeing things my way was that they were so tied into their past. They couldn't break away from the past to see the future. If you're locked into the past, you can never see the future. First you have to become free. Then you can move in what you consider to be an appropriate direction. And it took me a long time to get out of chiropractic and into spinology, and then I had to go back into chiropractic to tell them about it. And then I went back to spinology to keep it going. Then I went back to chiropractic to keep it going. So I flip and flop and flip and flop. People say you're wishy-washy. Well, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Thank you. Chiropractic gave me a philosophy of life. It helped me to understand what I'm doing. You ever ask yourself, what am I doing here? And what the hell does God need with you? We know what we need with God, but why are you here? I think mankind spends its entire life, especially the later years of its life, trying to figure out what is their purpose. If you don't have a purpose, you destroy yourself. And I searched for my purpose. And I found my purpose through the philosophy, which was the philosophy of chiropractic. The philosophy of spinology is almost identical to the philosophy of chiropractic. The only thing is, the spinologists do what the philosophy tells them, and some of the chiropractors don't. Not all of them. All chiropractors are different from all other chiropractors. They're individuals. People are different from other people. They get the same education. I sat next to somebody who got the same education that I did, and then when we graduated, he went and did something totally different. He went his way and I went mine, and there's nothing wrong with that. You have to follow your own star. And my star led me into spinology. The realization, and this is the big difference between the two, the realization that a spinal obtrusion, while it may interfere with your health, also interferes with every other facet of life. So that in bringing about the adjustment of the spine, we affect all of life, not just health. It's such a simple concept. I tried to explain it to the chiropractors, and some of them got it. We have a group of chiropractors who live around me in the Philadelphia area, who actually they're practicing spinology. They choose to call it chiropractic. I don't care what they call it, as long as they're doing the right thing. And some chiropractors are able to break away from the rigid education of their past and move on freely into what I envision as the future of spinology. One of the problems is when chiropractors go into chiropractic to start with, they go to chiropractic college. They take a lot of baggage with them. All the prior propaganda issued by the medical profession. And it should be the chiropractic college changes them. In most cases, the chiropractic college reinforces the medical propaganda. So they come out of chiropractic college so confused about where the real path is, where their own chosen path is, they spend their whole life exploring medicine. Let's talk about medicine, because that seems to be the father of all the professions, and certainly the father of chiropractic. How would you define the practice of medicine? If you go home and look in the dictionary, I don't care where you are, any dictionary anywhere, medicine is defined as the diagnosis and treatment and cure of disease, and the prevention of disease, and the maintenance of health. In other words, if you diagnose, no matter what you call yourself, you're practicing medicine. If you treat disease, if you get sick people well, that's the practice of medicine. Medicine is not just drugs and surgery. Medicine is whatever you do to help sick people to recover. Whether it's done by a chiropractor, by a spinologist, by a medical doctor, by a faith healer. Doesn't matter what your method is. If your purpose is to get sick people well, or to prevent well people from getting sick, that is the practice of medicine. Who says so? The law says so. All the dictionaries say so. You can't change the fact. So if a spinologist helps sick people to get well, he's not practicing spinology, he's practicing medicine. Now here in Ireland, it probably doesn't matter too much. You can get away with it. In other parts of the world, you can't get away with it. Because if you practice medicine without a medical license, now here in Spinology, the medical profession is far too busy cleaning up its own mess to waste its time on spinologists. But there will come a time when they'll seek out those spinologists who are practicing medicine, and I hope there are not many of them, and apparently there are none of them here. They were invited, but they chose not to come. That's okay, but if they're practicing medicine instead of spinology, it doesn't matter what you call it, it is breaking the law. And the medical profession guards very jealously those people who treat disease, and they should guard it jealously. If you treat disease, well, you have to be licensed because the treatment of disease is dangerous. Supposing you treat their own disease. If a person comes in presenting with a bellyache, now the spinologist may say, well, the adjustment will cure your bellyache. Actually, it won't. But he may say that, and in so doing, he'll prevent that sick person from seeking medical help when he desperately needs it. Spinologists are not trained in identifying disease deliberately, by choice. Spinology education does not include any diagnostic training, because we don't want spinologists diagnosing. We don't want them treating disease. We don't want them getting sick people well. That's not our job. That's the job of a medical doctor. The treatment of disease by law is the job of the medical doctor. So a spinologist doesn't treat disease. And when I was a chiropractor, I realized chiropractors don't treat disease either, and yet most of the chiropractors around me were treating disease. So when I decided to start Spinology, I remember a good friend, Tom Gelati, who was president of a chiropractic college. He's probably the president of the only real chiropractic college in the United States.